All right, getting into SoFi real quick today. Pretty much nothing happened. The Fed did cut rates, and that is positive for SoFi, but you're going to see this continue to consolidate for a little bit here until that next move higher. You could see some more selling days, seeing profit taking and stuff. But here is what I am looking at. Today we had $9.1 million in calls come in. So people are loading up SoFi. Targeting October, November, and January monthlies is what I'm seeing. Not too many short, put sellers and stuff coming in. So less than $1 million in puts. And then on to SoFi's daily chart here. So if we were to get a sell-off the next couple of days, this is where I would be looking to buy leaps. This is a rising wedge. We could break down. We do have jobs news coming out tomorrow morning. You could see the market sell off. So that's what I'll be looking for. It doesn't have to break down, so if I could base and head higher, it looks pretty good. I do think that we're going to break this 28.23. This will become our new support, and we will eventually head higher to 30, 32, and so on. SoFi is a great company. They're expanding. Their app is great. I bank with them. So long term, SoFi is a winner, but we're just talking short term trading stuff here. So that is what I'm looking for. And then let's head on over to Twitter real quick. All right, another thing about SoFi I want to mention is when you are expecting, hype behind a stock, like that rate cut today was priced into SoFi. We didn't really drop, we didn't go up. It was just kind of priced in already. But it is overall bullish for SoFi. But what happens is market makers like to manipulate stocks like these and keep them suppressed, at least while they're loading up until that next move higher. So you could see some sell-off days to try to shake people out, just something to keep in mind. But here we go. So SoFi obviously cut rates, or interest rates were cut. I just like to look over Twitter, kind of see the news, see what other people are saying. But yes, I agree with this. SoFi, broke out and then they back tested and holding that really nicely. Institutions are loading up, and just overall, people are all over this stock waiting for that next big breakout. But yeah, we are waiting on SoFi's next move higher. But yeah, $30 is my price target right now in the short term. Looking over the SoFi insider trades, it looks like there were some sales around $26.55 to $26.99. Noto did sell 301K shares, but still owns over 10 million shares, so not a big deal. A bunch of SoFi insiders are selling, but that could be for personal reasons. They have been in this for a long time. There were years of SoFi trading around $6 to $9. So, as it's approaching the high 20s, these people are making pretty good money. Obviously, they can use it for personal reasons. Diversification, taxes, vacations, who knows? So I don't think this is, bearish by any means. Noto has been buying a lot throughout the years. I'm still very bullish on SoFi, so I just like to check this out, but nothing too alarming at the moment. All right, and just to wrap up the video, throwing in the weekly chart, which I've showed before, SoFi is still developing. I do think a pullback is likely here. We have rallied very hard, and it kind of is setting up for this little bit of a pullback into my buy zone, hold the breakout, and we then obviously head higher, towards the end of the year is kind of what I'm seeing. So that's right on target for, those November, December, January contracts to head higher. But hey, we'll see what happens, and we will just adapt as the price action does. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one.